Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Demons podcast. We are at episode 18, approaching 20 with the quickness. Quick apology for this coming out so late in the week here. Just been crazy busy with work, and sometimes when I'm on the road like this, it is a little bit difficult to get the episodes in time and stuff like that, just because of crazy work hours and stuff. So I just want to say a quick little sorry about that, and we're gonna try to jump right into this thing. But what I did want to mention first is you can listen to this podcast on various streaming services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere else. You can find me on Instagram at digital_demons_podcast. You can also look up the show on YouTube. The shows automatically update weekly at Digital Demons Podcast. We're going to forget about Twitter because I'm not realistically going to be posting on there. So we'll just forget about that one. And I also have an email, digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com. And one thing I did want to mention, I think it's kind of a cool concept. It's actually based off of the server website that I use, Buzzsprout. They have a new feature called fan mail. So it's basically just a cool new way to interact with myself and the show. And it enables the listeners to text a number that I'll be able to access off of my server account, and it doesn't like store or save your telephone number at all. So you don't have to worry about like getting the spam messages through text or anything like that. But you can directly text the link on any episode from the beginning up till now. And it's just going to be a link at the top of the show near the notes. And it'll say, send me a text message or whatever I put on there. I can't remember exactly what I put on there, but it'll say something similar to that. You can click that and it'll give you the option. It should just pull up your text message box or whatever you want to call it, app or whatever. And you can directly text me, either if it's like an idea or just, kind of a cool little, way to share some thoughts or whatever on material that I discussed throughout the shows, or even if you've listened to something more recently, or if you just want to say what's up. If you guys go ahead and give that a try, I'm just going to be anxious to see the first messages come through, because it's a brand new feature. So I think I'll be promoting that more just through Buzzsprout, BUZZSPROUT.com, buzzsprout.com. I think there's an app that listeners can download too. If you're willing to do that, that'd be great. So that's the newest little thing. And as always, thank you guys for listening. And let's just jump right into it, man. Like I said, it's been a hell of a week. Super, super busy week for me. Phone's blowing up. Work hours have been crazy. And just having one hell of a time here with the team. Just a bunch of badass motherfuckers at the end of the day. That's really all it amounts to. So I'm proud of the shit that we're getting done. And there's just, if you guys have been paying attention to anything, there's been some just crazy stuff going on. But I've been kind of just picking through certain things. And I'm not really sure what to make of half of this stuff. But I guess the first one that I kind of seeked out, I didn't really seek this one out. It was funny because I was looking for dog stuff online, and actually found an article that mentioned, and I think all the dog lovers out there, if you have a dog or somebody that has a dog and you might be attached to it or whatever, dogs can actually smell time. And I thought this was kind of a cool thing to kind of check out. It was explained that dogs can actually perceive time by scents or odors, which obviously they have like really good noses and stuff like that. But it says if you leave the house, your scent weakens each hour throughout the day, and your dog can actually realize when it gets weaker, and they can somehow, I don't know how they do this, they connect it with how long you've been gone. So some dogs can learn like repetition and stuff like that, and realize that at a certain point of your scent decreasing is like when you come, like you tend to come back, like you come back home from work or whatever. So like the strength of your scent basically predicts the time of your return. So that's how they learn that. And they say the degree of scent discrimination is apparently not hard for dogs. Well, duh, they have like super strong sense of smell, so I wouldn't really doubt that. But strong odors and scents tend to be newer, and weaker ones tend to be older or weaker or whatever. And by doing that, they're perceiving events and substances across intervals of time, it says. So I thought that was pretty cool because, I mean, our other dogs would know, like, what time it was to eat. When we get home, they'd be at the gates waiting and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think it's just kind of a cool way to kind of learn a little more about, like, your dog and how they react to you when you get home or when you leave. I know my dog hates when I leave. My other dogs always hated when I left. I know Chaz over at my dad's, he will grab onto your hand like he's almost like telling you, like, hey, I don't want you to go. Like, stay here, stay here, stay here. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool little read, just a little something different. And I think with me, I just try to always learn a little bit more about my dog personally, just because I think it's cool to kind of see how they think and how they perceive stuff and stuff like that. But yeah. So that was a cool little read. And I feel like I kind of get to know him a little bit better too, when I can kind of gauge like how he acts and his reaction to certain things like that. I find it to be kind of cool. So that's just a little tidbit right there. I figured I'd start the show out with something a little bit lighthearted. It's a little more lighthearted than the roast of Tom Brady, huh? For those of you that have seen it, it was on Netflix. Apparently it was pretty heavily edited as well. They took out a lot of stuff on the released version because there was a live event that happened, and the edited event came out obviously afterwards, and there was a lot of stuff left out. But man, dude, everybody on that whole roast had just like really good sets. My favorite had to have been Tony Hinchcliffe, man. That dude slaughtered Nikki Glazer, Jeff Ross, and Andrew Schultz. Good Lord. They all murdered on stage. But yeah, they edited out, like I was saying, a portion of the show. I guess when Kim Kardashian went on stage, they just booed the fuck out of her, like relentlessly booed her. And Kevin Hart had to like step in and like make an attempt to quiet everybody down just so she could like say her little piece or whatever it was. So they edited that out. Surprise, surprise, they edited something on Netflix that wasn't good for the audience. No surprise there. But yeah, I was a fan of those guys for sure. But the standout had to have been for me was Tony Hinchcliffe. He actually hosts a live show called Kill Tony. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that or whatever, but that's a badass one. It's hilarious. They have like a panel, sometimes with guests or whatever that come on stage, and they pick names from a hat, and the people who they pick get to come on stage, and they do a 1-minute set, and then sometimes they get like good critiques, and then sometimes they just get pummeled on stage. So it's kind of it's funny all the way around from the beginning to the end, and it's usually a longer show. So if you have some time, sit down and watch a few episodes of that. I can guarantee you laughs, because I'm always dying laughing when I watch that shit. I can't get enough of it. And they got big names on there like Theo Von and a bunch of other people that come through and just totally wreck these guys on stage. But yeah, so if you're into like the roasting kind of comedy, it's not just like people doing set after set after set after set. These guys are literally tearing into each other, and it's pretty fucking hilarious, man. But back to the Tom Brady roast. It was good. I thought there was a couple of sets that I just had a hard time getting through, because obviously like not everybody on stage is a comic. So like you had people up there that kind of made it through, and I think the worst ones by far were probably Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski. But the guys that I mentioned before, they made up for that kind of. So I mean, it was a little bit kind of rough to sit there and watch these guys just totally bomb. And they had said some funny stuff, but the majority of their time on stage was lackluster. And Brady, obviously ending the show, I thought was pretty decent. It was actually pretty much what I thought it was going to be, which, he was, just going about himself, talking about himself being the GOAT and everything, which, to be honest, nobody can really argue that. I don't really know anybody that would challenge that. A lot of people are like, oh, they gave him the tuck rule, they blah, 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 he cheated, he deflated the ball. Whatever, dude. His numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fake the numbers, dude, and all that stuff. So say what you will, Brady's the GOAT. And if you're into watching roasts and people making fun of other people relentlessly in public spaces, I think that's an option for you guys for sure. And I would definitely check it out. But all in all, I think it was pretty much like one of the best roasts that they've done, personally, on Netflix or wherever. They used to do them on Comedy Central and stuff, and I guess they kind of got tired of it. But definitely worth a watch. Let me see here. What else do we got? Oh, man, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, dude. Like I brought up a few weeks ago, planning on pleading guilty to stealing $17 million from Shohei Ohtani, dude, Ippei. He admitted he stole millions of dollars and did all this shit, including filing false tax returns and stuff like that, and was just trying to cover up like a huge gambling debt. And this dude's facing up to 33 years in prison, which is pretty crazy, dude. They found out about a bunch of this stuff in March, and he got fired and everything. The Dodgers fired him, and they cleared Ohtani from any wrongdoing and stuff like that. But they're also trying to say now that he did know that he was doing this stuff. So I don't really know what's gonna end up happening. Yeah, it's pretty nuts though. I was reading through just kind of what they were talking about. He actually did, and it kind of got a little bit more shitty than I thought initially. I thought the dude was just fucked up from gambling, but he basically had like a scheme to like basically deceive and cheat the banks to like obtain money from Ohtani's accounts and stuff like that. And then he didn't tell him, but the prosecutors said that Ippei proceeded to change the email address and phone number on file for Ohtani's bank account, which is fucking crazy, which meant that the bank employees would instead contact Ippei about making wire transfers and stuff like that. And they said he impersonated Ohtani about 24 times, which is insane. And he was making like all these wire transfers and stuff like that. They said one was for $500,000 to the associate of the bookmaker. So he's like wiring all this fucking money, which is nuts. And he also purchased $325,000 worth of baseball cards between January and March, and he was gonna try to like slang them for some profit. Which is, dude, this is like way more fucked up than I thought initially. Like I thought he was just kind of like, moving sums of money to fucking his bank account from Ohtani's, but this dude had the full control the whole entire time, and that's just fucked up, man, to do to like a friend like that. It's just, I don't know. I would be really fucking pissed if somebody that was close to me was, juicing me of all this money, and it's, you don't really even think about it. Like, I don't know how somebody that's not tied into their bank account, man. I'm always looking at my shit, so I mean, it's kind of a lesson learned, I guess, on Ohtani's end. Yeah, but this dude was like trying to fool the IRS and everything like that, and he was filing false income tax returns and shit. yeah, it was just, it was crazy, man. And I guess he failed to report $4.1 million of income. And yeah, it was just part of his, like, his whole grand scheme to just defraud the banks, whoever he was doing business with. Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. I guess the dude had like some dental work and stuff to be done, and so Otani fronted him the money, and the dude didn't even get it done. He just fucking took the money and went and spent it. And I guess they said it was like 60 grand that he took. It was supposed to be for his teeth, and Otani approved it, and he did it from a business account. Yeah, it was nuts, man. So he took that money and he deposited the money in his personal bank account, and then paid the dentist from Otani's account that he controlled. So he took the 60 grand, put it in his bank account, and then when it was time to pay the bill, he just took another 60 grand out of Otani's bank account again and gave it to the dentist to cover the bill. And yeah, now he's for sure gonna fucking go to jail. And I don't really even feel sorry for him. At first I was kind of just like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but you know, he's gonna go to jail or whatever. And yeah, it's a lot deeper than that, it appears. And yeah, I'm not really gonna be sad when that dude goes to jail, because that's some pretty fucked up shit to be doing to one of your boys like that. I don't know. It is what it is, you know. He did what he did, and Otani probably will fucking have control of his bank accounts forever now, and hopefully he doesn't let anybody else mess with his money, you know. But anyways, another crazy thing that I was looking up to, and I just saw the other day. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the whole like viral blue dress, white dress, gold dress, or whatever it was called. It was like a internet phenomenon. Like, is this dress blue or is it white? Is the colors white or gold or blue or gold or whatever it was? Apparently the dude that started that whole thing, he's from Scotland. Keir Johnston, it said, was the man linked to dress that broke the internet. Yeah, I guess this dude has just been like beating the fuck out of his wife. And I guess he confessed to strangling his wife almost a year after the first time he was arrested. And it said on Thursday, he pleaded guilty to assaulting his wife, Grace Johnston, in their Isle of Colonnassay home on March 6th of 2022. So I guess he's going to be like getting in like a bunch of trouble now. But I thought that was just crazy how you go viral for, you know, your dress picture, and now you're going viral again for, you know, absolutely the wrong fucking thing. You can't put your hands on a lady, man. Like I just don't understand where people find the sense to be like, yeah, I'm gonna smack this lady, like, or, you know, I'm about to punch this bitch or whatever. Like I don't know where you get that amount of being pissed off from. But they said during the hearing, Judge Lady Drummond basically told him, like, you repeatedly strangled her, injured her, and put her life in danger in what must have been absolutely terrifying circumstances for her. She stated, as reported by the BBC. The judge also emphasized the severity of the crime, leading to Johnston's remand in custody as he awaits further legal proceedings. So she basically told that fool, fuck you, you're not getting out of jail. You're going to stay there, and, you know, you get what you deserve, basically, which is great, I think, in that aspect. I don't think anybody that lays their hands on women should be able to just walk around freely, especially like that guy in New York that wrapped that belt around that woman's neck and dragged her in between the two cars and like sexually assaulted her. He is so lucky that the cops fucking got him, because the people found him on the streets after the video went, you know, everywhere online, and, you know, it was just a manhunt basically around the city for this guy. And, you know, they found him, they kind of isolated him into like a little store bodega, like entryway or whatever. and the people were just trying to get at him, like they were gonna fuck him up. I think the cops should have just been like, yeah, we gotta go, rescue a cat from a tree. You're on your own, buddy. And just fucking let the people handle him. I think that's what we need more of, honestly, just street justice, dude. If you, see somebody out there that has been fucking up, that they're, doing bad shit all the time, just let them get dapped up by the community. Like, I'm sure people are sick and fucking tired of having low lives everywhere they work, they live, they raise kids. And it's just time for these people to fucking go, man. The justice system is not in the class of people it's designed to be for. It's totally against them. They let the criminals run wild. They don't obtain anything from them other than just a picture and an IOU, basically, to appear in court, and they let them right back out. So I think the streets need to do their thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with me on that the amount of crime that's been plaguing the entire United States, it's not even just like home or anything like that. It's widespread now. And it's showing up everywhere. It's not just like in isolated places constantly. But yeah, these people just have no fear of any kind of consequences at all. And I think strongly that the streets need to take over and just start fucking people up. But that's just me. I can't be voicing my opinion too much, because then people get to hating on you, and I don't really care either. It's not that I care about people hating on me, but that's not the way to handle it. It's this is America. They need to be innocent until proven guilty. If I see a video of you slapping a woman or beating a child or hitting a dog or whatever it is, I'm probably gonna put you on a roster to get fucking beat the fuck up, if not even worse. I don't really have a problem singling out people and pointing them out in a big crowd for the crowd to get the hands on them, and whatever happens from there happens from there. And if they get beat up or somehow cease to live, then it is what it is. But let's see, what else do we got here, man? Okay, here's a good one. Young people. And obviously, we know which ones we're talking about here. It's the ones with the mental disorders, the ones that have the crazy, idea that Palestine is somehow going to be freed, even though the UN released statements saying that the Terries have officially blown up the numbers, no pun intended, by 50%, stating that their civilian casualties are 50% lower than what they were honestly from the Terries were stated. So you got your big issue over in Gaza. They're saying everybody's getting blown up and killed over there, and it's just a massacre of civilians. And everybody's, saying you guys are crazy. We're not over there just killing civilians at the rate that you guys think we are. And so those guys that tend to sympathize with that are now making an attempt to identify as seasons. Okay, so by saying they identify as a gender season, meaning their gender changes with the seasons. They believe it's a micro-identity, apparently. So they believe it's a micro-identity, and just going through the list, these right here are the identities. So they can identify in summer as summer self, winter self, fall self, autumn self, spring self, and then they have weather or weathers, weather selves, sun, suns, sun self, snow, snows, and snow selves. A tad bit overboard much, if you ask me, but it's like in their mind they can't make up anyways, what they want to be anyways, so why not just go with the seasons, dude? If you're constantly switching or you're just, completely undecided, you just run with the seasons, It's kind of like the Goodyear tires, how they have different types. You have your all season, your all terrain, sport performance, you got summer, winter tires, run on a flat tire, tires that are made for electric vehicles. That's probably what I should identify as now, dude. Just a fucking like a Goodyear, tire type. And that way I can just be like, dude, I'm having a rough day. I wouldn't fuck with me. I'm really feeling like an all terrain right now. So you might get ran over. And maybe when I calm down later on, I might go into like a fucking sport performance, identity. You never know. But that's what's going on with them right now. And it's pretty nutty how they can just interject these weird things into society, and people will play along with it. And you're not gonna catch me doing none of that shit, man. I get it. You want to identify as what you want to identify, give that to you. But any step beyond that is, I'm not fucking calling you summer self. Hey, fucking, what are you feeling like autumn self today? Okay, well, I guess next week we're turning to winter. Are you going to be winter self? No, man, I'm going to stay autumn self. Well, you're not making a true change then, I guess, huh? You're just going to stay autumn the whole fucking year? You don't change as the seasons change, so I guess I'll be summer, man. I'm a summer baby anyways, dude. I'm a summer self. 24/7, 365, dude. But yeah, it's a little wacky thing there. Oh man, how about this one? Including talking about wacky shit. On Wednesday, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. We saw the governor of New York, obviously a Democrat, Kathy Hotchul. She said out loud, quote, "Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is." Okay, for me, dude, how many times realistically are we going to see just blatant racism from the left? Honestly, it's getting to be to the point where they're on like this like KKK status, dude. Like they just say this shit without regard, and they say it in public and in huge conferences and meetings, and nobody really bats an eye at it, and it's just some wild ass shit that they say out loud. And they continue to say that they're like a party of choice for millions of black citizens at the same time when they're speaking shit like this in public, and they honestly do believe it, which is insane. And they say that they're relying on the black vote, and I don't think that's going to be the case, man. With as much shit as they've been talking throughout these 4 years, I think that community has finally had it, and they're seeing right through the fucking bullshit that they're saying. And I think the tables are going to turn, this election cycle. And the funny thing is, and I won't even say funny, it's actually pretty awesome. While this bitch up there, Governor Hotchul, believes that the black kids are too stupid to know what a computer is, I also read, in contrast, totally unrelated to that story, that two teens from New Orleans, Louisiana, Calcia Johnson and Nakia Jackson, just achieved a mathematical breakthrough. Okay, so this is major shit, especially coming from me. I think this is awesome, because I can't count past 10 with my shoes on, as we all know. I'm very stupid when it comes to math. So she's saying all this racist shit up in New York, and meanwhile in Louisiana, these two developed a new method to prove the Pythagorean theorem using trigonometry. And apparently this feat, they say, has been believed by mathematicians to be impossible for over 2,000 years due to the risk of circular reasoning. And for me, honestly, I don't know what that is. But I thought it was a great talking point, because this just proves how much of a fucking idiot this lady is, Kathy Hotchul, who is the Democrat governor of New York. Surprise, surprise. Saying some fucking dumbass shit like that, and just downplaying the accomplishments of the black community and stuff, and just to make a talking point, and just, it's just kind of fucked up, I think. It just goes to show really the accomplishments that the black community are making, and it just goes unnoticed and obviously unseen in the eyes of the left, to be completely honest with you. They're constantly in a struggle, I think, the left, and it's all based off of greed, delusion, and obviously denial at this point. So just think about all the shit that the left constantly undermines them, that they undermine them with, basically throughout the last 4 years of the current administration. And even, you even have Joe Biden, if you can remember that, spewing his own bullshit remarks, when he said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. What the fuck kind of shit is that, dude? It's almost like I won't even say it's sickening, and it doesn't do anything, for anyone except the fucking idiots that truly believe he's doing a good job, which I luckily don't know any of. So, I choose to separate myself really from those that are tied to him and are supporting him in any kind of way, because that dude is so fucking lost. It's beyond comprehension really at this point. They've got him, his handlers and everybody else like that, and then he has the fucking balls today to go out and say on his Instagram or whatever it was that, Donald Trump has lost 2 debates against me in 2020. So where you at, big guy? I'm up for the challenge. Let's pick out 2 dates. And CNN is going to fucking host it. So it's going to be all bullshit questions related to 8 years ago when they said that Trump said, "Oh yeah, grab her by the pussy." That's pretty much what they're gonna rail him on, and then they're gonna try to go after him for the Mar-a-Lago classified documents shit, which is on hold in the trial now. They've totally fucking scrapped that thing, put it on the back burner. It's just gonna be a bunch of rigged fucking bullshit from CNN. And now that the polls are coming out and they're showing Trump in the lead, which is a great thing, don't get me wrong, but they're saying it's a dead heat. Oh, it's a dead heat. I don't really think that it is a dead heat, and they're going to be sadly mistaken come November. And the thing is with that, we all know what the storyline is going to be. He'll hold a massive lead, and then something will happen, voting machine-wise, or their paper ballots, or something's going to happen to where they mysteriously lose stuff, or they can't get something going right. And we're going to have another 2020 election result. I can't stress that enough. So just be ready for the fucking shit to hit the fan if that's the case, because he's ran the fucking country and basically the world into the ground now. So it's gonna be a rough outing for old Joe Biden, I think, if he really honestly debates Donald Trump anytime soon between now and November. He said he wants him to go twice. The only thing 2 related is when he goes number 2 in his pants, and we all know how that works. Full fucking sits there like a 2-year-old. Looks like he's shitting himself all the time. But yeah, that's to be seen. I'll be surprised if they actually set a date and they both agree to it. I know Trump has basically been talking shit like, hey, anytime, anywhere, any place, whatever you want. We'll do it in a big venue, so that way everybody can see you and watch you be embarrassed and shit, basically, because you don't know how to fill up a big venue. So the shit talking is on point there, and he's probably going to mercilessly just fuck him up in front of everybody, which will be a grand old time, I think, and I will be tuning into that. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. Oh, how about this one? The Boy Scouts of America is changing its name to Scouting America. It says the Boy Scouts of America will change its name to Scouting America on February 8th, 2025 to mark its 115th anniversary and promote inclusivity. I don't know, dude. I'm fucking like barely running on fumes right now. So they want to have all the fucking everybody that wants to join the Boy Scouts join the Boy Scouts, even though there is a Girl Scouts that, does better shit, I think, dude. They got the cookie game on lock. Shit is off the hook, and I think they're gonna try to just get everybody to the Boy Scouts now because the Girl Scouts need to have some competition. They can't just be out there raking in fucking millions of dollars, slanging those delicious cookies, and you got these motherfuckers doing Pinewood derbies and shit, dropping cars off of a 3-foot, slope thing from the top of their computer desk at home to see which one goes faster. That's lame. Boy Scouts need to do something, and don't sell any of that fake ass popcorn either. That shit sucks. There ain't gonna be nothing that competes with the Girl Scout cookies. Am I right? Like, come on, dude. Who doesn't love Girl Scout cookies? If you don't love Girl Scout cookies, I'm gonna tell you right now, fuck you, dude. You're a loser. They got so many options, so many delicious options, and you really can't go wrong with any of them. Not any of them. And it's gonna be kind of fucked up to see the Boy Scouts change their name, I think. And it says, despite the name change, the organization remains focused on teaching young people preparedness and life skills, according to CEO Roger A. Crone. The rebranding follows the inclusion of girls in Cub Scouts. In 2018, the Scouts BSA in 2019. More than 1 million youth currently participate in the programs, including 176,000 girls. So thanks to you guys, it's going to be changed to Scouting America. So no more RIP to the Boy Scouts. You won't see anything coming out of the Boy Scouts that's good anytime soon, like I said. Let's see. Oh, another one. So this one was kind of funny. It's kind of bizarre. But in a discovery in Michigan, a woman was found living inside the sign of a family fare supermarket in Midland, Michigan. Contractors working on the supermarket's roof on April 23rd stumbled upon the woman and her makeshift residence within the sign's upper triangle-shaped section. The living space, which included some flooring, a mini desk, clothing, and even amenities like a Keurig coffee maker, a printer, and a computer, was accessed through a small door. Midland police officer Brennan Warren, who referred to the woman as the Roof Ninja, so this lady's got a nickname, the Roof Ninja, highlighted the unusual nature of this case. Despite the detailed setup, it remains a mystery on how the woman managed to repeatedly access the roof. So yeah, she's been there for a year. This peculiar incident has caught the attention of both local authorities and the media as investigations into how she sustained such an unnoticed presence continues. So yeah, this lady was like totally geared up in this place, just living in the sign. Like what kind of a weirdo would just take up residence in a sign, dude? Like the last time I heard somebody going through a roof at a supermarket, it didn't end up good for him. A guy where we live was running from the cops and busted through the store, got up into like the manager's office and went into the roof. And then he actually fell down like this like hollowed out floor and ended up inside of one of the pillars at a Winco. And I guess he got knocked out or whatever, and he was in there upside down. So he got stuck in the pillar of the Winco in the front of the store, upside down, and the cops were just like, yeah, I don't know, he got away, like we can't find him or anything like that. So he stayed in there, and this was summertime, dude. Like it was like well over 100 degrees. And yeah, he basically just baked in there and baked to death. You know, he was upside down, probably lost consciousness, and that was it. And nobody knew where he was at. They figured he got away or whatever it was. And it was kind of disgusting because eventually like his bodily fluids were like leaking out, and they came out through the bottom of the pillars everywhere. There was all kinds of shit that was leaking out, and so they had to open it up and figure out what it was. Well, they did the demolition on it, and they found his body in there upside down. So they closed the store off for like a few days, recovered him out of there, and then patched it up. So it's kind of a nasty little grim reminder of, that when we go to the store sometimes, if we elect to go there. I don't really frequent Winco that much, to be honest with you, because it's in a fucking nasty area, and I just don't like going over there very, very much. So we tend to not go over there if we have the option to, which is pretty much all the time. So I don't fuck with Winco like I used to. So another thing I actually was interested in finding out about, and I want to ask, maybe somebody out there listening might know more about this, because I didn't really do too much looking into on this particular thing, but I don't know if you guys have heard of grounding, like using grounding blankets or grounding pads, basically to like calm your body into sleep kind of thing. I'm not really sure what it's all about, but I've seen ads and stuff like that popping up randomly, because I do the whole thing where I have like the acupressure mats and stuff like that, and I use like the modalities and stuff for my neck, which has just been absolutely fucked this week. Had just crazy tension headaches. My neck has just had like wild knots, and it hasn't been very good. This week for me has been a week full of pain. I've been getting more work done on this left arm of mine, getting tattooed and stuff like that, and I had the most excruciating tension headache the other day while I was sitting in the chair, and I couldn't decide which one hurt more, like the actual shading process going into my arm, or my head was just absolutely splitting. So yeah, I use a bunch of different shit to kind of help the tension headaches and stuff like that when I'm at home. But unfortunately right now I'm just dealing with it. I have the old Tylenol over there sitting on the counter, and just kind of gotta be a tough little cookie, I guess, and just get through this shit. It's not fun. Really limited on like my range of motion right now, and I could use a really good either massage or a fucking chiropractic session. I'm in desperate need of that right now, but it is what it is. I'll get through it. But anyway, yeah, if you guys really know what this whole grounding thing is, I'd kind of like to learn more about it, and I guess I could do a little bit of research myself. But I've seen like videos of people plugging these things into the ground, like portion of their plug at home in their wall, and then laying these pads and stuff on their bed, and their dogs will jump up there, and it's kind of like an earth, I guess, grounding to the earth or something like that. I'm not really sure. I could be just talking out my ass, but yeah, like dogs will like gravitate to these things and just lay on them, and it kind of calms them down. And then I've seen stuff where it helps your cortisol like levels go down to help you sleep and stuff like that. So it could be cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it. I don't know if it's really just a kind of like a gimmicky thing, or if this is for real. So if anybody out there has any like medical prowess, let me know what's good with these, because I'm into like trying different stuff. Not like any crazy like, holistic healing or anything like that. I've done like the most I've done is like chiropractic stuff, so I don't really get too wild with that stuff, but I am interested in seeing how that works. So if anybody out there that's listening, wherever you're at, let me know what's good with this whole grounding thing. I'm trying to see what it's all about. So thanks, just in advance. But speaking of weird like rituals and stuff like that, I saw this hilarious one the other day. It's called a rage ritual, and basically it's just like a bunch of white liberal chicks that have come up with a way to quote unquote release their anger. So basically they just get together and they beat up on pillows and like bang sticks and stuff outside into the ground, and they're screaming into thin air like a bunch of unhinged like weirdos, like total weirdo shit. Like you see this video footage and these ladies are gathering up pillows and straddling the tops of them and like slamming their fists into them and bucking up and down and just doing a bunch of this shit. They're screaming and hollering and crying together, and there's like 30 people out there, and you're just like, what the fuck do you guys do all day long? This is what you I can't make it to the appointment today. I have a rage ritual at 3:30. Me and the ladies are gonna go out into the middle of the forest, and Cheryl's gonna beat on her hand drum in time, and we're gonna punch our favorite couch cushion, and then we have a stick smacking session, quickly after that. And then at the end, we're all going to gather around in a circle and scream into thin air until we're on the verge of a mental breakdown. And we're crying and complaining about how, we have all this pent up rage inside of us. It's like, dude, fucking go to a sports game or something like that and don't be such a fucking pent up little bitch. Go to Starbucks, go get a Stanley Cup or something like that, or fucking go spend 8 hours in Target, dude. Don't go into the middle of the forest and fucking do some weirdo shit like that. Like, I was so uncomfortable watching that. Like, they're literally straddling pillows and just punching and screaming, "Oh, I gotta get it out," and they're crying to each other, and it's like, "Don't worry, Stacy, it'll all be better." And then they get up and they grab these big ass branches from trees from God knows where, and they're smacking them and banging them into the ground and snapping twigs and all this other shit. It's like, dude, put some safety goggles on before you take an eye out with that shit. You know how dangerous that is? Like, come on, man. I'm gonna fucking be over here screaming and getting pissed off and letting all my rage out, and then I gotta go and fuck you up because you snapped your stick in the ground and it came up and stabbed me in the eye, or fucking got me in the neck with a piece of that bark that flew off of that thing from you being a spaz over here. Like, relax. Go see a therapist, man. Be a normal lady. Like, you're surprised to see all these women basically are single. You know what I mean? Like, who would honestly, like, these are the women that have never and will never have any business ever being in a relationship. Who's going to want to date someone that unstable to where they feel, like they have to go destroy something on a regular basis in order to feel good, like to feel like they're the sane ones. Like, you know how stupid you look? Go take like a boxing class or like a fucking jujitsu class or something like that. It's like something where you can like exercise and, get out your energy, not your rage. I got to go to my rage ritual, dude. It's very important to me that I go and break things. Like, go to one of those like rooms where you can pay $20 and they give you a lamp and some safety goggles and you can get a bat and just break shit. That's pretty cool. I mean, at least you're, having a good time doing that. I'll just go out there and start breaking shit and fucking taking shit off my couch and going outside with it and smacking all over it. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't get all that shit, man. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I did have one more thing, and it was cool. I pretty much covered everything this past week that I've been hanging on to. This is it. Okay, so I was reading about something about sleep apnea and all this other shit, and sleepwalking and stuff, because I saw a video on Instagram. This lady she records herself, or I don't know if her husband records herself or whatever, of her sleepwalking, and it was funny as hell because she's like just doing her thing, saying things out loud, and it's kind of scary, dude. If you honestly watch somebody like sleepwalk, I've never seen it in person before, but yeah, I can imagine I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? And like, get them into bed again or something like that. But I don't know. I watched Step Brothers, and some of the shit can probably be destructive. I don't know if it's really that dramatic, but I do know stuff gets moved sometimes. And yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to, like, if I would be tripped out or scared or whatever, but that led me into reading more and more and more stuff. And I came across something that's called Sexsomnia, and it's apparently a thing. It's also called sleep sex, and it's a type of parasomnia, which is part of the family of sleep disorders like sleepwalking. It also includes sleep talking and sleep eating, which is like crazy that people can eat while they're fucking asleep. I'd be afraid of choking to death or watching somebody choke to death. And it also includes sleep terrors. And so this guy, Dr. Carlos Schneck, explains that the disorders typically occur in the deepest stage of sleep, known as delta sleep. So during that stage, your brain is not in a dream state, but your body can still become activated, which lead people to having these issues, like sleepwalking and stuff like that. Although, for the record, sex is not a disorder in my book. So, yeah, I know that's personal, but yeah, I know people are like, "Oh man, I'm a sex addict." Okay, cool, dude. You're probably just like a freaky. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of chill. You don't have to get to the point where like you're you're going crazy with it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like it just kind of weird. Like people are like, yeah, I went to therapy for sex addiction. It's like, are you fucking for real right now, dude? Like you literally are that much of a freak. Like that's wild to me, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it a disorder. Everybody does it. Everybody has fun doing it. Literally. And, it said during the study, many individuals were unaware of their unconscious sexual activity unless they were told by their partners. Treatment options include medication, but they can lead to dependency. And other than that, like being treated by medication, there's no real solution. So, yeah, sexsomnia, dude. Like just waking up and like getting totally into the business. Like that would be crazy. Like you would feel like either partner would be like, am I being raped right now? Like not to make a rape joke or anything like that, because rape is not funny or cool. Just let me tell you that. But I couldn't help but feeling like that's what it would be. Like, I don't know if you could snap them out of it. Like, what if you know what I mean? Like, what if it happens and you're like, oh, okay, it's playtime. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know how it would feel. Like, do you perform? Or do you just be like, oh, fuck, she's fucking having sexsomnia again. You know what I mean? She's sex walking right now. Oh my God, there she goes again. You know, I think it would be different for a guy to see like a chick do it rather than a chick see a guy do it, because they would be scared. I think like there wouldn't be a way for them to like smack them and wake them up. You know, what if they get aggressive? You know, like I don't know. I think it would be funny if it was to if it were to. God damn, I can't talk right now. Fuck, I need to take my Ritalin, dude. Maybe because I discussed ADHD last time. You guys can totally tell. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I would be freaked out by it, or I'd be like, oh man, this is interesting. And then maybe like once they like finish, do they just go back to sleep? Like they don't realize what happened? Or maybe when you're getting ready to finish, they snap out of it and they're just like, oh, what am I doing? Holy shit, my bad. Sorry, you got to get up in the morning. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to play that. I don't know how one would play that. I think for a guy, you would probably feel a little bit guilty unless you had a freaky partner and they were like totally into it. But on the other hand, if you were a dude and some shit like that happened to you, I think you'd be like, huh, okay, like tricked you. You didn't want to do it earlier. Now you're asleep and you want to do it. You little nasty. Let's have at it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's just a weird little thing that I found the other day, and I was like, I gotta save this for the show. So let me know what you guys think, because it could be funny, it could be serious, it could be scary, or it could be totally cool to some people. I don't know, but I think that's pretty much gonna do it for me, man. Yeah, sorry about the delay. Just been crazy busy lately. Like I was saying in the beginning, work is wild when I'm on the road, and so I try to make the most of my sleep time and stuff like that, trying to catch up. But I do want to keep these episodes going. We're so close to episode 20, and I can't believe already episode 20, man. You think like every week putting out an episode, for me it's cathartic. Like I said, it's fun to, you know, talk about different topics and give you guys my my take on things. So if you guys want, like I said, I'll send you guys all the link on my Instagram. But if you're listening to the show, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and I will be promoting heavily on Buzzsprout. 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 So look that up, grab the app, or you guys can listen to the show directly online. Whatever you guys choose to do. But there is the new feature called Fan Mail. So like I was saying, you guys just hit the link. It'll say send me a text message. Like I said, it doesn't store your number. I don't know who is who, where you're from, whatever. I'm just stoked to, you know, have the engagement with the fans, my listeners, all you guys that have been out there listening week in and week out, and to everybody now worldwide. We have had a couple people from different locations throughout the world listening to the show. So thank you guys. If you guys are continuing to listen, I really, really appreciate it. It's been a blast so far doing these shows. And yeah, I just appreciate all the support from the listeners. So do shoot me a message. I'm interested in listening or seeing actually what you guys have to say about it, whether it's, the show was funny, the show sucks, I think you're a fucking horrible human being, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to send a message through. So go ahead and go to Buzzsprout and click the little send text message link. You'll get linked up right through into the text messages, and you guys can send me whatever you want in there, and I'd appreciate it. If you guys are digging the show, if you guys have something to discuss, or if you guys just want to drop a little line in there and say, thumbs up, whatever you guys want to do. Other than that, the show is always available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you guys get your streaming services on. You guys can get me on Instagram at digital_demons_podcast. You guys can find the show on YouTube at Digital Demons Podcast. And if you want, you guys can go old school and email me at digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com. So once again, this is going to wrap it up for episode 18. Thank you guys so much for listening and for the continued interactions, and hopefully now the new interactions now with fan mail on Buzzsprout. So don't forget about that. Click the link, send me some messages, and remember to take care of yourselves, guys. All right, peace.